Let's see if that's better. Let us see if this is better. My lighting look crazy, but I can still. Is this better? Can y'all at least hear me this time? Yes? Okay. Cool. I forgot what I was saying now. I had to get back in the car. I was out there about to freeze too. Yes, okay, cool. Yeah, so Uranus with health issues, you want to look at first house, you want to look at fifth house, you want to look at sixth house, possibly eighth house, because even with the eighth house, if you got Uranus in the eighth house, that could be car accidents, that could be, just be real mindful and very careful how you moving with that Uranus in the eighth house, okay? You said if I put it on the right, I got my thing on me. I know I should have. I can't get it right. It's okay. Y'all know I'm like the least superficial one. I don't care. As long as you can hear me. First house. But first house isn't as detrimental. So first house could be like needing a makeover. First house could be like, this is where you're going to see a lot of people who have Uranus right now in the first house. That's going to be people who are going to do like breast reduction or get breast, augmentation, booty lifts and all of that. Like plastic surgery is normally really common if you got Uranus in the first house. Cutting your hair off all of a sudden, Uranus first house stuff. Like just doing very drastic changes. What you have to look at is that Uranus, wherever it's going to fall, it's going to do drastic changes. All right. Wherever it's falling in your chart and wherever it naturally sits, it's going to bring that energy over and it's going to do drastic changes. All right. It's going to do drastic changes to whatever is going on in your, in whatever house it's in. So it's coming to shake some shit up. That's why the state of America or the world is going through what it's going through. It went into this particular placement earlier. So it's intentionally shaking and transforming things as we know it. So any old ideology, any old things that are no longer serving you are going to be like, it's going to destroy it. Relationships in particular, beloveds, I'm telling y'all, relationships in particular, this is getting ready to be a time frame that if it is not built on solid ground, if there's anything that's been triggering your relationships, this is a time frame this year, going into next year, about a year out, I promise you, it's going to make you reevaluate and look at, are you in the right relationship for you? Does this have longevity? Does there need to be some reconditioning or restructuring of your relationship? And what do you need to do to move forward? So that either is you moving on by yourself or you moving with your partner, but y'all having to redefine what the terms and conditions of your relationship is. All right. Somebody said ninth house. Ninth house means expansion of consciousness, expansion of spiritual gifts, expansion of knowledge. Normally people who have ninth house, Uranus is getting ready to go through like even, you might, come across a new way of life. Like you might go through a whole spiritual awakening. 1 minute you Christian and the next minute you over there doing some voodoo. I mean, it'll be something really like an aha moment, an awakening. All right. So ninth house is, it could traveling abroad, traveling outside of the country, the need to travel. Sometimes it'll force you to have to go somewhere that you wasn't even really particularly trying to go. Like it might have been for work or it might be for family. All right. Second house is messing with your money. Uranus in the second house is all about my money. All right. Uranus in the second house is getting ready to be your material gains, your wealth. It could affect your career. So this is another placement that you might lose your job. But those of y'all who are losing jobs or transitioning out of a job, it's just so it can make room for what you're supposed to be doing. It's aligning you with your divine purpose. So this is a time that if you got Uranus either in the second house, the 8th house kind of, the 10th house in particular, that Uranus in those houses, you need to get your coins together. Because if you don't have your money right, it's going to catch you off guard, and we don't want nobody to be homeless. All right. All my babies that are familiar with both dynamics, the human design and the natal chart, I need for y'all to pull both of your birthdays. So you want to pull your mind's birthday and your design's birthday. So like for me, I have Uranus in my design. My Uranus is in the 9th house. But in my mind, my Uranus is sitting in my 7th house right now. No, 8th house. I'm sorry. So I got it in the 8th house and the 9th house right now. All right. 7th house is relationships. That was the first one I touched on, boo. 7th house is relationship. And yeah, 7th house is a relationship. So it's going to shake some shit up. If y'all are sitting with Uranus in the 7th house or the 8th house, this is when secrets will be revealed. Yeah, just be mindful. And you don't have to worry about you might even just be more argumentative. Because also you got to pay attention, like I said earlier, where is Mars transiting? Wherever Mars is transiting, it's going to bring that warrior-like energy. So if it's transiting your 8th house, it's on some like, yo, I'm sitting here trying to stake claim. I'm laying, my flag. I'm placing the flag in the ground. So it might, create a warlike energy in the 7th or the 8th house, which is making you like have confrontations with your mates. All right. So when y'all are feeling this pressure, this anxiety, this energy that you feeling like you about to pop off, all right, you want to chop people in the throat. I'm always chopping somebody in the throat. When y'all are feeling that energy, go look at your chart. 9 times out of 10, your chart is telling you everything you need to know. How do you get your human design chart? You can go to mybodygraph.com or Jovian Archive. Or just go to Google and put human design chart. And there's a bunch of websites that'll come up. Okay, it's a bunch of websites that'll come up. Somebody asked me a question. Hold on, let me see if I can get this to do this without me messing something up. You just did your chart. Your mom doesn't remember what time. Time is important. With human design, you can kind of at least narrow down exactly what your type is or whatever, but time is important. You gotta, it's really imperative that you find that time, because you want to see with certain placements, because they move so fast, you want to see exactly where it's sitting. Okay. You want to see exactly where it's sitting. Uranus 10th house, that's our career. So anything dealing with your career. This might be a time to start a business. This also might be a time that you need to pay attention to how you're talking to your boss. You might want to be saving some money up, so in case they try to fire you. Birth certificates don't always have the time, but your mother's copy always has the time of birth. Your mother's copy will always have your time of birth on it. Okay, birth certificates, depending on where they are at, won't always have the time on it. You can get your mother's copy of your birth certificate. It's called the mother's copy. So that's normally a register of deeds. All right. Fourth house. Well, that's a tricky placement. Fourth house is all about your mother. Fourth house is normally when people have Uranus in the fourth house, you might be getting into disagreements with your mom unexpectedly, or just having like, things that you're at odds with. Fourth house can also be your home, because this represents our home environment, our value system, and how we see. So your values might be being challenged, and it's being asked for you to restructure what you value in life right now. But specifically your home. Normally when I see Uranus in the fourth house, that could be like all of a sudden you get all of a sudden you're getting like some reconstruction done at your house because something happened. So a flood happened in your house, and now you gotta, redo the kitchen floor, or this happened and all of a sudden you gotta do this. So fourth house Uranus can be it can be tricky because it's dealing with our comfort. What we find, this is our comfort zone, our home. Fifth house is creativity, is children, unexpected pregnancies. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it right now if you got Uranus in the fifth house. You don't want no more kids, this is not the time. If you got Uranus in the fifth house, this is not the time. But Uranus in the fifth house also can cause miscarriages. So my women, you got to be very mindful. That fifth house can cause miscarriages, or it can cause unexpected pregnancies. Fifth house could be all of a sudden you pick up a new skill or a new thing that you didn't know you could do, a new artistic skill, because that's all about the creative arts. All of a sudden you'll discover a new ability to use your voice a certain way, because this is all about singing. Okay, so creative dynamics. 11th house is your network circle. So 11th house could be all of a sudden people that you've been friends with for a long time, all of a sudden, and this is 7th house and 11th house, all of a sudden you're either meeting a whole bunch of new people, or all of a sudden you are losing like long time friends. I done went through that too this year. I swear everything that I probably done that, I done went through at least half of it. I done went through half of it, whether it directly affected me or somebody in my circle. If you're a singer, depending on where your Uranus is sitting, you might all of a sudden pick up a new skill with your voice. My phone about to go dead. All right, so my phone about to go dead. But I did want to get on here. Babies, don't allow people to trigger you. Don't allow people to pull you into a certain space. This is a time frame that the energy is high. Things are heightened. Mars is tricky as hell. Uranus is acting bad as hell in most of y'all charts. So this is a time frame that you want to pay attention to how you respond, how you react. Don't engage. If you know your human design and you know exactly how you operate, there is a lot of things that you can learn how to navigate this particular part of your journey better. So you're not engaging. I've been doing this for a long time, and I just started learning human design over the last couple of years. I promise you, I still be ready to pop off. Shoot, I still pop off. I still have moments where I engage, and I already know that I knew better. But there is getting ready. It takes time. Okay, it takes time, because even though you are aware of yourself, and even though you know how to navigate your own vessel, you're still affected by everybody else's energy and dynamic. Okay? You're still affected by everybody else that you're around. And you can't control everybody else. You can only control this. And that is frustrating for people like me. So don't allow people to engage you. Don't allow people to put you in a position that make you challenge who you are, or challenge the fiber of what you're building at this moment in time. Acknowledge the dynamics that are happening. Acknowledge what it is that you need to grow in, because you're being triggered for a reason. This is an opportunity for you to grow. And then keep it moving. All right? Keep it moving. Can I say, I save all my lives. So anytime that y'all want to go back and revisit anything that I've came on here live to talk about, or just, run my mouth, whatever, go to my IGTV. So if you go to my IGTV, most of my lives I save on there. And I also save it on my YouTube. So you can go to my YouTube channel, and I always put anything that I've done on live, specifically with She Is Magic. I always go and upload it on there. All right. All right. I love you guys. I hope that helped. Like I said, don't get triggered. Don't get mad. Don't, break up unless it's absolutely necessary. This is a very triggering and testing time. Do not allow the energies to take control of you. You have awareness. You have tools. This is a time that you actually use your tools to make yourself better and make you break cycles, break generational curses, break patterns that you have, created within this journey, all of that stuff. All right. I love you guys. Peace.